friends, my name is Anna. Welcome back to my kitchen, or welcome if you're new here. Today we're making ropa vieja. This is a staple in every Cuban household. It's so yummy. It translates to old clothes, which I know sounds a little peculiar, but this is essentially shredded meat braised in a tomato-based sauce with peppers and onions and olives. It's so mouth-watering and delicious. The perfect meal for a large gathering. So if you have a lot of people to host, this is so yummy because it feeds a lot of people and everyone will absolutely love it. It was requested by one of my followers over on Instagram. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, my handle is Anitas Likes Recipes, and I also have a link in the description box. Go follow me because I post delicious things over there as well. And if you have any requests, please leave them down below. I love making whatever you guys request. So with all of that being said, let me show you the ingredients so we can go ahead and get started. As of now, you really don't need much. The only thing you're gonna need is some flank steak. This is the traditional cut of meat that we use for ropa vieja, and that is because it has long strands of fiber, if that makes any sense. So when you shred it, you get this very kind of like long pieces. But if you can't find flank steak, you can also use beef roast, and it will kind of work the same way. You're also going to need some parsley and a bay leaf. I have my pot filled, well, almost filled with water, and I'm going to add the meat to the pot, and this is going to cook for many hours. If you have a pressure cooker, this won't take very long at all because the pressure cooker is going to do most of the job, and you will only have to really cook it for about, I would say, 40 minutes to an hour. I don't have a pressure cooker, so I'm going to have to cook mine in my pot, and it's going to take about 4 hours because you want the meat to be very nice and tender. If you have a slow cooker, even better. Just throw it in there on high for, it's going to take about 6 to 7, 8 hours, or on low for like about 8 to 10 hours. So it's definitely gonna take a while, but you're really not doing anything, you're just letting it cook there. So I'm gonna let this cook on medium-low heat for as long as it really needs. I'm guessing it's gonna be 5 to 6 hours. Then I'll be right back to show you the rest of the ingredients you're gonna need, and we're gonna pull everything together, and it's gonna be so yummy. The meat boiled for, it's like about 2.5 hours, and it's perfectly tender, exactly how I want it. I went ahead and I shredded it into smaller pieces. If it's too hot, to use 2 forks. If not, you can do it, if you want to let it cool and do it with your fingers, you can. I also went ahead and I got rid of any big pieces of fat that was in there. Now let me show you the rest of the ingredients you're going to need. So I'll have some onion. You can use red, yellow, white, whichever onion you want, except sweet onion, some green pepper and some red pepper, another bay leaf. You're also going to need some cilantro leaves. Remember, I added parsley first and now I'm adding cilantro. If you don't want to buy 2 different kinds of herbs because you're not going to use it, just buy some cilantro and you can use them for both. In here, I have some oregano, cumin, and paprika. I have some garlic, a little bit of white wine vinegar. I also have a packet of sazon Goya. This one's just the one with a culantro and achote, but if you have the one with culantro and achote, that will also work. I have some tomato sauce and a little bit of white wine. Make sure you use some white wine that you enjoy drinking because you will be tasting it slightly. I have my bracer here. You can do, oh, and I also, let me show you. I reserved a lot of that cooking liquid, like the beef broth, you could say, that the meat cooked in, because that has amazing flavor. I have my brazier. You can do it in the same pot, but I still have a little bit of stock in there that I want to use for something else, so I didn't want to clean it and then you know the deal. So I'm using a different pot, but don't feel like you need to use a completely different pot for this. I'm gonna add about 2 to 3 tablespoons of olive oil, just plain olive oil, and I'm going to add my peppers and my onions to this. This is currently on medium heat. We're gonna give this a good tossity toss so everything cooks evenly, and I'm gonna let that cook until the onions soften. It's gonna take a few, I would say like 4 or 5 minutes, and then we move on with the rest of the ingredients. The onions and peppers are looking great. So at this point, I'm going to add the sliced garlic. I'm gonna toss that around just so it starts cooking a little bit, just for about 30 seconds or so. Okay, and I'm also going to start adding my spices in. Just going to wake them up. Add your sazon Goya. Mix it around as well. I'm gonna go in with my white wine now. That way we can start deglazing the pan a little bit. I'm only gonna let that cook for about 2 more minutes. This looks beautiful. Now I'm going to add a little bit of tomato paste. I think I may have forgotten to say this. You don't really have to add it. I just like the flavor it provides. Mix it around just for a second. So you're gonna add your meat. Make sure you mix it very well. Your tomato sauce. I'm gonna add some of this cooking water. You wanna season it with a little bit of salt. We keep turning and tossing and stirring just to make sure everything is nicely combined. You're gonna add your cilantro as well as your white cooking wine and your bay leaf. I meant vinegar, not wine, cooking wine. This is looking fantastic already, but now we have to let it cook for, I like to let it cook for about 30 minutes, 30 to 40 minutes, just so all the flavors can kind of combine and get to know each other and marry, and it's gonna get so nice and yummy. So I'm just gonna let it do that. I'm gonna cover it, and this is cooking on medium heat. My ropa vieja has been cooking for 40 minutes, and this is what it looks like. Look at how beautiful it looks. I don't like mine too soupy, so if you like yours a little more soupy, then obviously leave it with a little more liquid. But I personally like to finish it off with some olives. You want to add a little of that brine in there as well. Mix it around so everything gets nicely incorporated, just like so. And we're gonna add some cilantro all over the top. And here you have it, traditional ropa vieja. I am ready to eat. I served myself some with some braised, avocado. You can do this with maduro, tostones, yuca, plantain chips. There's no right or wrong answer. You can add black beans, but whenever I eat ropa vieja, I don't usually make black beans because I like to eat it with the little sauce that it has. So personal preference. Of course, you're gonna need some white rice, and let's give this a try. It's gonna be so good. I've been waiting so many hours for this. It's marvelous. It's so good. It has so much flavor. The meat is so tender. This is truly the best ropa vieja. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. Give me a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Remember, the full written recipe will be on my website, anitasdelightsrecipes.com. You will always find a direct link to it in the description box. So, like I said, give me a big thumbs up if you liked it. Share it with your friends and family so they can try this delicious dish. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.